that when the sages were there at Prabhasa, Pundarika Tirtha, then the young boys, Yadu boys, they had gone there and they had made Samba to wear the dress of a woman, like a pregnant woman. And then they went to the sages and asked them that, dear sages, can you please tell us this woman is going to give birth to a male child or female child? They are joking with the sages. And the sages could understand that these boys are joking with them. So they cursed. They said that whatever will come out from the womb of this woman, that will destroy your dynasty. And when they became very shocked, the Yadu boys, they became very shocked. And when they opened the belly of Samba, because they had stocked some clothes to look like a pregnant woman, they found this iron claw. And then, being very much terrified, they went to the court of Maharaj Ugrasen, who was the king of Dwaraka, and Lord Krishna and others, they were all present there. So they described the incident to Maharaj Ugrasen, that how the sages have cursed, that whatever will come out from the womb, it will destroy the Yadu dynasty. So the iron claw was there. Then Maharaj Ugrasen ordered to grind this iron claw into powders and throw it in the ocean. And then at the end, the small piece was left out. And they thought what this small piece will do. They also threw that in the ocean. So all these powdered iron powders, which was thrown in the ocean water, and because of the waves of the ocean, those powdered iron claw that came through the waves came to the shore, and they turned into trees. Cane trees, not bamboo, cane trees. So they were there. So when the Yadu members were fighting among themselves, and the weapons were destroyed, then they took out those canes and then again fought among themselves. And in that way, they were all destroyed there. And at the small piece of that iron claw, which was thrown into the ocean, a fish swallowed that. And when the fisherman was fishing in the ocean, that fish was caught in the net. And then that one Jara, one tribal man, he got that fish from the fisherman, and when he caught the fish, he got this iron piece. And he made that iron piece into the edge of the arrow. And he put that iron piece on the edge of the arrow, and that arrow was shoot to the foot of Lord Krishna later on. So in this way, this was all Krishna's arrangement. So after that, Lord Krishna himself wanted to depart, because Lord Krishna came here to perform his pastimes for 125 years. And that was going to an end. That's why Lord Krishna, without telling anyone anything, he started alone towards Prabhas. And he had already directed Uddhava to go to Badrikashram. And Uddhava was also about to go to Badrikashram. But when Uddhava, who was his very bosom friend of Krishna, so he was thinking that now Lord Krishna leaving Dwaraka alone, that means he is going to leave this material world. Uddhava came to know. That's why instead of going to Badrikashram, he came back. And then he came back to Krishna and he requested him. Throwing himself at the lotus feet of Krishna, he prayed to give his last instructions to him. As we all know, that Lord Krishna gave instruction to Arjuna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and that instruction we get as Bhagavad Gita. And that instruction was meant for the whole world. But in this case, Lord Krishna, though he was giving personal instruction to Uddhava, but it was also meant for the whole world. And this is very, very much intimate, more intimate instructions Lord Krishna gave to Uddhava, which is called Uddhava Gita. So in the 11th canto, we see that Lord Krishna is giving varieties of instructions about yoga, about jnana, about bhakti, about the duties of the 4 varnas and 4 ashrams. So he is giving detailed instructions. So after getting all those instructions, Uddhava was thinking himself very fortunate. And then tears were rolling down from his eyes. Being very much indebted to the lotus feet of Krishna, Uddhava surrendered to Krishna and threw himself at the lotus feet of Krishna, put his head at the lotus feet of Krishna. And through his tears, he was actually washing the lotus feet of Krishna. So in this way, Uddhava was showing his gratitude to Lord Krishna for giving all these instructions to him. And then in this verse, we see that Uddhava again asking Lord Krishna the final instruction. Though he has got many instructions, but again he is pinpointing the final instruction from Krishna. So he says here that Namastute Mahayogin Prapannang Anusadhimam. So Uddhava here telling Lord Krishna, Namastute, means I am offering my obeisances unto you. But in Sanskrit, all these words have deeper meanings. though it is straightforwardly we say, oh, I am offering obeisances. Namastute. Yeah, in daily dealings also we say namaskar. To offer respect to someone, we say namaskar. But it has a deeper meaning also. Na makar namaskar means where there is no makar means ahankar, aham, me, I. This is the false ego, that I and mine. Generally, in this material world, everyone is working with the conception of I and mine. And why it is happening so? Because punsastriya mithuni bhavametam. Mithuni bhav. The desire for sense gratification. Lusty desire for sense gratification. And because of this lusty desire for sense gratification, a man is uniting with a woman. Punsastriya mithuni bhavameta. Tayo mithur hridaya granthi ahu. So when a woman meets a man or man meets a woman and they develop lusty desires to enjoy, then the knot in the heart becomes very tightened. And then what happens? Atha gruha kshetra sutapta vittai. Then when the knot is tightened, one is bound in this material world. And then he'll think for a home, for some income, then children, then relatives, then all these things encircle around him that I am the enjoyer and everything is meant for my enjoyment. And they are all mine. So I and mine, this conception develops. And this is the root cause of bondage of the living entity in this material world. Because of this I and mine. When the living entity forgets that he is the part and parcel of Krishna, he is the servant of Krishna, and he can only enjoy when he serves Krishna. And that is his prime and supreme duty. When the living entity forgets this, then he falls into this material world. And then out of enjoying propensity, he or she unites with a man or woman, then the cycle of bondage starts. So this ahankar is the root cause of our suffering, this I and mine. And throughout our life, we all want to satisfy ourselves and our family members, relatives. That's why we work hard, and in that way we lose the precious lifetime of a human being. So, when we say namaskar, then that means we are offering this ahankar, I. I am offering this ahankar to you. So when we offer our obeisances, namaskar, we are offering this makar, ahankar, I to the Lord. That means we become surrendered at His lotus feet. That I am your servant, I am your part and parcel. So we offer our obeisances to the Lord. We offer the obeisances to a devotee of the Lord or any other living entity. That means we are offering our ahankar to Him. That means we are surrendering to Him. If someone is not offering obeisances, that means he is not surrendering. He is not surrendering his ahankar, his I-ness. So, this is the first symptom of one's surrender to the Supreme Lord. First, one should offer obeisances to the Supreme Lord. Sometimes we see many people, they come to the temple, they see the deity form of the Lord, but they don't offer their obeisances. They are so proud of their stature. They don't offer even obeisances to the Lord. That means those people are not surrendered at the lotus feet of the Lord. So, first thing one has to offer himself by offering obeisances to the Supreme Lord, or offering obeisances to the spiritual master, or offering obeisances to the devotees of the Lord. So this is a symptom of surrender. Surrender starts from here. That's why the Acharyas, they have also commented on this, that namaskarena prati upakare asamartham suchayati. When one is offering obeisances, that means whatever benefit he is getting from the person whom he is offering obeisances, he is unable to repay. That's why he is offering himself in form of namaskar. So we can see that the Supreme Lord, He is providing us everything for the maintenance of our body and soul. Without His permission, we cannot do anything. Even we cannot breathe, what to speak of doing anything. So the Lord is allowing us to breathe, the Lord is allowing us to eat, the Lord is allowing us to work. So everything is done by His permission. And in return, what we are doing for the service of the Lord. So when we feel ourselves very unqualified, when we feel ourselves unqualified or unfit to provide anything to the Supreme Lord in lieu of what He is providing to us, so then at least we offer our obeisances to Him, because we cannot repay Him. That's why here Uddhava is actually offering obeisances to him, namastute, namaste, namastu. Means whatever benefit he has got from Supreme Lord Krishna. He was Krishna's bosom friend and almost in the same level. Though no one can become same, equal to the Supreme Lord. Still, the Supreme Lord Krishna considers Uddhava no less than him. That means he was almost in equal level of Krishna. In his personal figure, in qualities, in every respect. That's why Lord Krishna chose Uddhava to send him to Vrindavan, to give solace to Nanda Maharaj, Mother Yasoda and the gopis, and all the Brajavasis. In the same way, we can see that Lord Krishna at the end, the next verse, Lord Krishna is instructing Uddhava to go to Badrikasrama and give those instructions what he received from Lord Krishna, give those instructions to the sages of Badrikasrama. Because Lord Krishna could not visit Badrikasrama, so he sent Uddhava. So here we see that Uddhava was very confidential friend of Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna thought that Uddhava could do his work on his behalf to give these instructions to the sages of Badrikasrama. So he instructed Uddhava in the next verse. But here in this verse, Uddhava is praying to Lord Krishna, first offering his obeisances, namastu, and expressing his gratitude. Expressing his gratitude by offering obeisances. And that means Uddhava is telling to Lord Krishna that yadyapi tatha bahupakritam tathapi prarthaye. Even if I have been supported by you in so many ways, still I am again praying, that's why please accept my obeisances first. In this way he is actually offering his gratitude to Lord Krishna. And then he says, the Mahayogin. Uddhava uses this word Mahayogi. Also in Bhagavad Gita we see Krishna has been addressed as Yogeswara. The last verse of Bhagavad Gita says, Yatra Yogeswara Krishna, Yatra Partha Dhanurdhara, Tatra Sri Vijaya Bhuti Dhruvaniti Matirma. So Uddhava is also addressing Krishna as Mahayogin. He is the master of all the yogis. The yogis, they have limited powers. But Krishna, the master of the yogis, has unlimited powers. That's why Uddhava is addressing Krishna as Mahayogin, and what he meant for this Mahayogin by addressing Krishna. He says, Mahayogin iti prarthita dana samartham suchayati. So one Acharya Giridhar, he says in his commentary that by addressing Krishna as Mahayogin, Uddhava is actually saying to Krishna that because you are Mahayogi, the supreme yogi, you can give anything, whatever I desire. You have that power, you can give anything what I desire. That means you are able to give everything what one desires. And then Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also in his commentary says that he Mahayogin Mahayoga Valena Sarvatra eva mang swanubhavanaya anandaitum. So here Uddhava is telling that addressing Krishna as Mahayogin, and he is addressing Mahayogin because by your mystic power, great mystic power, Mahayoga Valena, Sarvatra eva, everywhere, by your great mystic power, everywhere you can give me the pleasure of seeing you everywhere throughout the universe. So anubhavena. So I can realize you everywhere in everything throughout the universe. That is the power of Mahayoga. So Uddhava is telling that you please bless me, and by your mystic power you give me that sense of realizing you everywhere in everything, and in that way I get pleasure by realizing you everywhere in everything. That's why he is addressing Krishna as Mahayogin. And then Prapannam Anusadhimam. Prapannam Anusadhimam. So then Uddhava is praying to Lord Krishna that you give me this realization of seeing you everywhere and everything, and why you should give this favor to me? Because Prapannam, because I am a surrendered soul at your lotus feet. If someone is not surrendered at the lotus feet of Krishna, then Krishna may not give him this realization. But Uddhava was surrendered at the lotus feet of Krishna. That's why he is praying to him that please give me this realization. Please give me this pleasure of seeing you in everything and everywhere. Prapannam Anusadhimam. And then Uddhava is requesting Krishna to anusadhiman, that please instruct. So, unless someone is desirous of getting instruction, then mere instruction will not work. Sometimes the spiritual master gives instructions to the disciples, but we see disciples either they are not able to follow the instructions or they are not desirous of following the instruction of the spiritual master. Why this happens? Because the disciples are not surrendered at the lotus feet of the spiritual master. Unless one is surrendered at the lotus feet of the spiritual master, he will not be able to follow the instruction of the spiritual master. So the basic qualification of receiving instruction from the spiritual master is surrender. That's why in Bhagavad Gita also Krishna said the same thing. Pranipata. You pay obeisances to the spiritual master. Serve him. Then you can get instruction. You can receive instruction. So here in this verse, also Uddhava, he's telling, I am surrendered soul at your lotus feet. Whatever that means, I am ready to receive your instruction. Whatever instruction you give to me, whatever difficult it may be, still I am ready to follow that instruction. Sometimes it so happens the spiritual master gives instructions to the disciple, and sometimes the disciple may think, oh, this is very difficult to follow this instruction. I have not got that capacity to follow that instruction. A disciple may think like this. But we have to understand that if we are surrendered to the instruction of the spiritual master or the Supreme Lord, then through the instruction, the Supreme Lord and the spiritual master, both, they give that strength to the disciple to follow that instruction. That does not matter how difficult that instruction may be for the disciple. That's why the basic qualification is to surrender first at the lotus feet of the spiritual master or at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. That's why in this verse, Uddhavaji, he is first telling Lord Krishna that I am a surrendered soul at your lotus feet. Please instruct me. That means he is now ready to receive the instruction by surrendering at the lotus feet of Krishna. So, what is the instruction? Anusadhya or anusikshaya. Then it says anusasaniyam. Sridhar Swami tells in his commentary that you give me this instruction, Uddhava is telling, and discipline me. The disciple means who is disciplined. disciplined by the spiritual master. If a disciple is not disciplined by the spiritual master, or if a disciple doesn't want to be disciplined by the spiritual master, then he cannot be a disciple. Disciple means discipline. That's why Uddhava ji is telling, Anusadi, you give me instruction, and in that way you also discipline me. So when someone is surrendered at the lotus feet of the spiritual master, whatever the spiritual master will say, he will follow. And those who are not surrendered, they will never follow. That's why we see there are three kinds of disciples. The first class disciples, they understand the mind of the spiritual master and do accordingly, even before being instructed by the spiritual master. They are called the first class disciples. The second class disciples, they have to be instructed. When they are being instructed by the spiritual master, then they will follow the instruction, do the work. They are second class disciples. And third class disciples, even if they are being instructed by the spiritual master again and again, still they will not follow. Still they will not do. So here Uddhava wants to be disciplined by the Supreme Lord Krishna. Though Uddhava was very knowledgeable, he was a disciple of Brihaspati, and he is directly receiving knowledge from the Supreme Lord Krishna. And he has already received the way how the gopis of Vrindavan loved Krishna. He has also seen that the love of the gopis for Krishna. That's why Uddhava wanted to become a grass or bush in the Vrindavan forest to get the dust of the lotus feet of the gopis. So such an exalted personality, he is praying to Krishna that, my dear Krishna, I am surrendered at your lotus feet. Please instruct me. Please discipline me. I am ready to be disciplined. Whatever you say. So this is the quality of surrender Uddhava is showing. And then he says that by being disciplined by the spiritual master or Lord Krishna, by getting instruction from the spiritual master or from Krishna, what happens sometimes when a spiritual master disciplines a disciple, chastises him for his faults and wants to rectify him, then the disciple thinks if he is not surrendered, then he will not think this chastisement of the spiritual master positively. There are many disciples, they cannot take the chastisement of the spiritual master. They take it in a negative way. That, oh, I am such a great disciple, my spiritual master chastised me, Maybe he does not like me. This is all false ego. And the spiritual master knows exactly where his false ego stands. Disciple's false ego stands. And he wants to cut that false ego, destroy that false ego, make him humble so he can become a good devotee of Krishna. But the disciple does not understand this. He thinks, oh, my spiritual master chastised me, okay, I will leave his ashram. I will go to some other place. So that means that disciple is not surrendered. He does not understand through this chastisement, the spiritual master is offering him mercy. The disciple does not understand this because he is a foolish disciple. The foolish disciple does not understand this. So here, our acharyas, they are commenting what anusasana means, what discipline means. Discipline means get mercy, getting kripa. So anugrahanam. So that means when Uddhava is telling Krishna, please discipline me, that means he is requesting Krishna to give his mercy to him through discipline. That means Uddhava is ready for chastisement also, no problem. And he knows this is Lord Krishna's mercy. So then, yatha tat charanam bhoje rati sad anapayini. So Uddhava, he is surrendering at the lotus feet of Krishna and requesting him to discipline him, give his mercy to him. So, and what mercy he needs? Now he is expressing in the second line. Yatha tat charanam bhoje rati. That my attraction at your lotus feet would remain always. Anapayini, undeviated attention, undeviated attachment. Sad anapayini, anapayini undeviated. So my attachment for your lotus feet should never be deviated at any circumstances. That shows the highest kind of surrender. It does not matter what happens. My attachment for your lotus feet should never be deviated in any circumstances. This mercy I need. This kripa I need from you. And when someone will pray like this, when he is fully surrendered at the lotus feet of Krishna. So here, Uddhava, as a disciple of Krishna, disciple, friend, everything, he, having surrendered at the lotus feet of Krishna fully, ready to be disciplined by Krishna, he is praying for Krishna's mercy, that he would get this mercy of undeviated attachment for his lotus feet. So in this way, we can understand that what a surrendered soul is Uddhava, who is setting the example for all the devotees of the Lord, for all the disciples of the spiritual masters. That how the devotees should have their mentality towards the Supreme Lord. In what mood they should pray to the Supreme Lord and serve the Supreme Lord. So in the same way, a disciple with what mood he should serve the spiritual master and try to get the mercy of the spiritual master. So Uddhava is our Mahajan, leader. He is showing the way. By surrendering at the lotus feet of Krishna, he is actually showing the way how the devotees should surrender to Krishna without any reservation. And we have so many reservations in this material world. I cannot do this, I cannot do that because I have this problem, I have that problem. So many reservations. And because of this, we don't get the mercy. Because we have our reservations. So when we will be free from all those reservations and fully surrender at the lotus feet of the spiritual master and Krishna, then the full mercy will flow from the Supreme Lord through the spiritual master to the disciple, to the devotee. In that way, one's life will be successful and one can attain the supreme destination, the lotus feet of Krishna. So we'll stop here. If you have any questions or comments, Hare Krishna. Yes. How to find a spiritual master? Actually, through our eyes we cannot find our spiritual master. When someone is sincere enough, he prays to Krishna to find a spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master. And Krishna knows the heart of the devotee. That how much he is surrendered, how much he is desirous to surrender to Krishna and become his devotee. Accordingly, Krishna will arrange a spiritual master for the disciple or for the devotee. Sometimes we see some people, they pray to Krishna or they want to come to spiritual life with some motivation. That's why Krishna sends those people to that type of spiritual master who can fulfill their material motivations. But if someone is sincere in heart and he wants to serve Krishna without any material motivation, then Krishna will inspire that devotee within his heart to approach a spiritual master. And how one will approach the spiritual master? Just by hearing. One must hear from these mouths of the spiritual master. One, not that nowadays it happens. Oh, many people are taking initiation from him, so I should also take. It is not uh, the way of accepting a spiritual master. One should hear sufficiently from the spiritual or spiritual master, bona fide devotee, whoever, in that position of the spiritual master. One should hear from him, and if Krishna will inspire within the heart that, okay, this person is my spiritual master. Krishna will inspire from the heart. Then one should approach that spiritual master. Nowadays, sometimes people ask others from whom I can take initiation. They may tell someone, or sometimes the temple presidents, they have their spiritual masters. They will say, okay, you take from him. So that is different thing. But actual way of accepting spiritual master is to hear from him. We hear from everyone. And Krishna will inspire us from within the heart, from whom we will take initiation and accept him as spiritual master and surrender unto him. We have to pray to Krishna, and then we hear from the bona fide Vaishnavas, spiritual masters, and then Krishna will inspire us from the heart. Okay? Okay. Her question is that how can we know that Krishna is accepting our service? So we can know that if we are doing Krishna's service with love, then naturally our service will be better if we are doing with love. And when our service is better, all the Vaishnavas will be pleased. The spiritual master will be pleased. Then we can understand Krishna is also pleased by our service. If we are doing service just half-heartedly, or because as a matter of duty, then devotees will not be pleased, Krishna will not be pleased, spiritual master will not be pleased. So we have to do our service with love. And we should be always conscious that I am doing this service, Krishna will see this. My spiritual master will see this. Whether they will be happy with this type of service. If not, then we should do better service. If we are Krishna conscious, then with love we can perform service, then naturally everyone will be pleased. Okay, any other? Okay. She is asking that after the disappearance of the spiritual masters, who will guide the disciple? You see, generally, when we accept a spiritual master is not only for this lifetime, for all lifetimes to come. Janme janme Prabhu say. But spiritual master may be one. But there can be many Shiksha Gurus. Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru both are one, similar. Both are on the same platform. Both Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru must be pure devotees of the Lord. So when one spiritual master disappears, one should take Shiksha or instructions from the Shiksha Guru, who is actually in friendship with one's spiritual master. Then it will be easier to accept instruction from that Shiksha Guru. So we can take Shiksha from other gurus, those who are related to our spiritual master, who can guide us. Okay. He's releasing. Okay, so we'll stop here. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Gopal Ji ki jai. Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki jai. Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Pramanande.
Shri Srimad Bhakti Gaurava Nayana Swami Maharaj